I'm on here just to, you know, just clarify some things. Not going to be on here long. Try not to be on here long. I know I run my mouth a lot, but it's just like I got so much shit going on up here, and I want to let it out because, like I said, I don't get a thousand followers. I don't get a thousand subscribers. I don't get a thousand likes or comments. But I just like it that I get to speak my mind, whether you listen or not. Because I'm up here watching about the Epstein and Maxwell and Trump thing that's going on. And it's blowing my mind is that this is getting out of hand. Like, this is becoming too much of bullshit. Because to me, I want this shit to go and get done. I mean, I want these pedophiles to get locked up. I mean, they need to go to prison. Now, you got Maxwell is already in prison. Epstein is gone. And you have one man that's the president of the United States. And he is a criminal, not just a criminal. He, to me, is a pedophile. I don't care what anybody freaking say. To me, he is because if you're hanging around a man that was bringing young ladies to you and you didn't stop him or you didn't send him to the police, you're part of the problem. And what really cracks me up is people love this man. And I still don't understand why people respect a man that messes with children. Or any man or any woman that messes with children. Now people will say you have to prove it. Well, there is proof that he has because the videos that they have of him and Epstein and many other people that Trump and Epstein hung around were on that island, you know, and they have a list, and they know they have a list. I don't know why they lie. They lie so much, and it's crazy that you accept a liar to be in office as a pathological liar to tell you that there's no list. But now he's saying there's a list, but he's blaming it on Obama. He's blaming Hillary Clinton, and he's blaming Bill Clinton and the Democrats. Who does that? Why does this man keep blaming the Democrats for everything? Like, he's the president of the United States. He's the president. Why is he blaming other people? It's driving me nuts. Like, you can't take on the responsibilities of the things you have done and knowing there's proof of the things you have done, and then you lie. You lie so hard. You try to make the public like you, knowing the public don't like you. You got booed at a soccer game. You got booed in a lot of places. You're afraid to go out because you feel that if you go out, people are going to be against you. You know, you're starting these little fights with other countries through the tariffs, and you're starting this little controversy thing with Putin again. First, you want to make a movie with Putin. Next thing you know, you're going to tell Putin he got over 50 days left before you do something for Ukraine, or they'll give him weapons or something like that. He is. I don't know why they're afraid of this man. Why are you afraid of this man? This man was an entrepreneur. Why don't people understand he was never a president? He never knew any politics. He was never into politics. He just knew people that were in politics because he knew billionaires. He knew people that had very much power in the government and in politics. So he hung around them and probably was taught by them. Maybe because I know he probably hasn't listened to anything anybody say because it's all about him. But they had to teach him how to be a politician. He didn't do too well his first presidency. His next presidency is still not doing too well. But he was taught by someone, or tried to be taught by someone, like how Hitler was. When Hitler was being taught by someone that was, that got him out of prison and actually taught him how to become in politics and become a leader of the country of Germany, right? So he's trying to think that he could do the same thing, but the thing about it is that he's trying to take away government away so he could be a king. There's only one king left. There's no kings really that have power in countries unless you got Africa and many other smaller countries that probably do have kings. But the United States fought a war to keep kings from being rulers of this country. You know what I mean? So why the hell does this man want to be a king so bad? And why are people bowing to him? He's a weakling. I keep on telling you, he's not tough. Everybody knows he's using this power because he has money. He uses his mouth because he has money. That's the only thing I hate. People love this man because he's a rich man. He uses his power because of money. He doesn't use his power to help people. He doesn't care about this country. He doesn't care about the people in this country. All he cares about is money and the people that he's surrounded that has money. Because he's taking everything from us just because he could do that. He don't see the fact that he needs the American people. Because if you lose the American people, what else do you have? The rich don't want to be fucking being used all the time. You don't know, the rich might change their mind and say, you know, we're going to start with the poor again. They can do that. See, Trump always think that he has people on his side because he could say, I'm going to take this from you, I'm going to take that from you, I'm going to take this from you because I'm the president. But he got to understand he doesn't have that much power, and they know he doesn't have any power. The only power that he has is by signing shit. He can threaten you by forcing you to get things done. That's what he's doing. He's threatening people. He's telling people that he's going to take shit from them. He's using his power because of money. He's not using his power to be influential to the people by saying, listen, I used to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to help y'all become entrepreneurs, and I'm going to help this country become richer because I was, once upon a time, had to start from the bottom and work my way up. He is trying to go back to the 1800s or the 1900s to try to get children to start working again. Then he's trying to go back to the 1800s to try to back to the 1700s to create slavery again by getting rid of immigrants and trying to force black people to work in farms. What the fuck are you doing? This is the year 2025. It's already hard to find a job. It's already hard. The cost of living is high. You can't get the minimum wage up because if it does, everybody's going to have to pay a lot more for everything if you lift up minimum wage. He wants to fuck up everybody's food stamps. I don't understand you trying to take away food stamps from people that don't work, like actually not sick and actually can go out there and work and don't need food stamps. But the thing is that you're going to take it away from people that actually need it, the people that are sick, the people that are disabled. You're going to force them to work that are going to die at a job. And you already got people out here that don't like people that are disabled because they say they're sitting on money because they can't work. They can't sit there and work and die. That's what y'all want to do. Y'all do that. You want to work and die because that's what you were born to do anyway. You know what I mean? You work to make money to die. That's it. You know what I mean? So all that shit that you go through every fucking day, it's a way of living and a way of life. He knows this. But he knows that we don't have enough of it to survive. So you got these people going to make a little bit of money, and you're going to take all their food stamps away. They're going to have to make their money and pay for food, which they won't be able to do because everything's going to be fucking high. Then they got to pay for insurance, they got to pay for car insurance, mortgage, all that shit, which they won't be able to pay. Then they'll lose their house, they'll lose their car, they'll lose their health because they'll end up dying. This is what he wants. He doesn't care. He don't care that you die. He doesn't care because on to the next motherfucker. He wants to make this country a rich country. It's never going to happen because there's only 300 and something million people in this country. You can't just keep on trying to take things from people and think you can build a country by taking away the people that built the country. Like from the slaves, from the immigrants. They built this country. The white man sat on his ass. I say that a billion times. The white man sat on his ass while these motherfuckers, like the Native Americans, all of them built this country. And watch the white man sit there and count the money. You know what I mean? And have the power. Now, this man wants to do that all over again. And thinking if he could do this, he'll have all these people follow him. Like, this is ridiculous. And the Epstein thing. Why are you hiding this thing from Epstein? Why is it so much that you can't come out and just say, okay, look, yeah, I'm the president of the United States. They can't fucking touch him in the front. He's a dickhead too. This is the reason why I always believe he's the most illiterate man I ever seen in my life. You know that you have not gone to prison for what you did, that you went to court for, right? That you're supposed to do 30 years for. So why the fuck you think that this right here, this Epstein thing, is really going to probably put you in prison, which is not going to, unless you be impeached and you get kicked out of office. Then they can put you on trial. But he knows he's protected. So who else are you protecting? First you say it's Obama and all of them, but people are saying Obama was on that island too. Everybody's saying Clinton was on that island too. So who are you protecting? Are you protecting the Republicans and Democrats? Or are you just picking and choosing people that you don't like and you want them to get in trouble and you don't want yourself to get in trouble? Because number one, I believe even if he's impeached, I believe Donald Trump is going to get in trouble regardless. I believe somebody's going to come out and have proof that Donald Trump was slaying up with them little kids. And they probably got proof. That's the reason why he don't want it to come out. They had proof of... Epstein is not a dumb man. Yes, he was a scammer. Everybody think he was an informant. to try to catch people that were messing with kids. They really believe that. They really believe that he was they probably believe that he's really not even dead. That motherfucker's probably somewhere in another island somewhere, protected because he was an informant. They probably took him out of prison, pretended he was dead, and shipped him off somewhere. He's probably still alive. Maxwell probably knows more about this case than anybody else because she was there. But they don't want to give her a new trial. And they were begging, the family was begging, can you please pardon her? Donald Trump is not going to do that. Donald Trump is not going to pardon her. He's not even going to pardon Puff Daddy. People believe that these people that have power over these people, they are afraid of them. Donald Trump is afraid of Puff Daddy, and he's afraid of Maxwell because they have the power of bringing out shit. And they have these computers. People don't understand how powerful the computer is, how powerful memory is. Once you get something on a memory card and you hide that shit, you could duplicate that motherfucker a million times and put it all over the fucking world and have it hidden. And once you die, or once you think it's time to bring that motherfucker out, all you gotta do is click a button and that motherfucker will go all over the fucking internet. And it's going to happen. And Donald Trump is afraid of that. These motherfucking politicians are afraid of it. All the politicians are saying, yes, let's keep her in prison. No, it didn't exist, that list, because they're the ones that were on that island. That's the reason why they're afraid. And y'all Donald Trump lovers, I keep telling y'all motherfuckers, he is nasty. He been nasty all his fucking life. He did so much stuff to people, and people still love this man because, oh, he's tough. He's not. He's not a tough man. How are you tough messing with kids? You believe he's a tough man because he's up there touching on kids? You believe he's a tough man because he's disrespecting women? Are you serious? His wife don't even want to be around. Sorry to say it. I don't want to put that off on me, but it's the truth. I'm not going to say it. Honestly, sorry, YouTube. It's the truth. You've seen it. You've seen it for yourself, what he's going through. He is not loved by no one. Even the Pope even took his hand away when he tried to grab the Pope's hand. He is not respected by no one. Yes, he's respected by these elites because elites are using him as a puppet. Because they're trying to keep their money in their pocket. And they're not trying to give it to the people that are poor. They're trying to keep their money in their pocket. That's why they're using Donald Trump. Putin is using Donald Trump. Putin is not scared of Donald Trump. The fucking what's his name, Jong-un and all them fucking other presidents are not afraid of him. They're not scared of him. Who's he put fear in? He got nuclear bombs. Everybody got nuclear bombs. Everybody got military. Everybody got weapons. They're not going to tell you that because the United States don't like to tell what other people like to have things because they like to take things from them so they can be this country can be the most powerful country in the world, so we steal and take from everybody. Then we go and drill oil in other people's country and tell them they got terrorists because we want to take their country and their oil from them, so we're going to make them look bad. This is what we do as a country anyway. So what makes it any different that Donald Trump comes out and say, listen, yeah, I was part of that, but he's not going to get in trouble. Yeah, he's going to have some controversy. He's going to probably be impeached, but at least he gets it off his chest. But he's an idiot by having a woman that's already still alive, knowing everything that's going on with this Epstein case. And next thing you know, if she comes out with just a little bit of information, it's going to blow the whole freaking motherfucking United States government, presidency, everything. And people, I keep telling people, you need to stop voting for these dumb motherfuckers. Because these motherfuckers are nasty. They're nasty. We're voting for these presidents, these senators, these governors, mayors. They are nasty. They be messing with kids, dog. How can you vote for these people? Why you standing in these long fucking lines at these voting booths knowing that these motherfuckers are nasty? They hide shit. They're criminals too. They steal from the public. They lie to the public. They do everything to keep us broke, dog. They keeping us broke. Why would they make these laws to make us work longer until we're 70 fucking years old? Why are they trying to make kids work at the age of 7 and 8 years old? Why? What is that? Why does us as Americans are allowing this shit to happen, knowing that we are the bosses of the government? The government, we are their bosses. We're the one to pay the taxes. We're the one to pay. We're the one to put the money in their checks. All them politicians get paid by the taxpayers. They don't get paid by the government. We pay them through our jobs. Them old ass motherfuckers have been there for like 100,000 years. And they don't want to leave the office. But we're sitting up here, keep on voting them and voting them and voting them back in. And these men are old men. that want power. That's why they won't vote for a woman, because they're so power hungry. That's the reason why they will not vote for her, or it's going to be power hungry, because they believe a man can run a country. Men can't run countries neither. You see what's going on in this country. The men that we had in this country for the last past 40-something presidents, you see this country has fell apart from 100, literally like 200 years. And we always been to war with other countries. We go and steal from other countries. We lie. We lie to our own people. We do everything just to keep ourselves in power. We got the #1 currency, which that's falling apart. We're #1 in oil, which that's falling apart. We're #1 in gold, but we're afraid to use gold to help other people that don't have money to actually be able to get rich, because they could give us a bar of gold right now and everybody in this country would be fucking rich. But you know what? They can't control gold. They can only control money. They don't control paper. That's the reason why they don't want to give us gold, because they're afraid if we get gold, we're going to be rich. And they can't control us no more. They want to control us. The only way they control is by taking shit from us. And we allowing them to take shit, and then we bitch and complain on YouTube and many other sites that they're taking shit from us. We already should have known that when that motherfucker was about to be in office. Everybody should have known that. He was trying to do that in 2017. People knew that in 2017 he was doing that shit. And he said that in his campaign, and before he became president then and president now, he said the same exact thing. He duplicated the same thing that he did almost 5 years ago. And people still like, oh, let's put my vote in for Donald Trump. He's a great man. He knows how to talk. The man don't give a damn about you. He don't give a damn about your family. He don't give a fuck about your job. He don't care about nothing as long as you work for him, as long as you bow to his feet. He wants to be a king. He wants to be like how England is. He wants to be Putin. Putin is not a king. He's a president. Even Jong-un is not a king. He's a president. These are presidents that he think that are kings, and they're not kings. They don't run their country as kings. They run their country as presidents. He wants to run this country like a king, like they did back in the 1600s when they had kings, or word further than that. He wants to be that powerful leader that everybody should adore. Nobody adores him. Nobody cares nothing about him. Every time he talks, he doesn't make sense. I believe he's illiterate. I don't care what anybody fucking says. He's rich, yes. He's a great entrepreneur. Donald Trump is amazing at making money, but he can't build a country the way he built his way he built his Trump towers. He can't do that with a country. You can't act like you are an entrepreneur as a president. You can't do that, because you have to work with the people. The people have to build the country to order this country to be great. You got to make money. We're not making any money. This motherfucker has no motherfucking deals with other countries. They're closing their deals, and he's losing a lot of people in other countries to be allies. So we be fighting about ours. He thinks Donald Trump is his ally. Donald Trump don't give a damn about this country. He wouldn't fight for this country if he wanted to fight for this country. Jong-un and the president of fucking China, they don't care about, and Japan, they don't care about the United States. All they care about is building their own country and keeping their people safe. The United States is worried about everybody the fuck else. We're about immigrants, we're about Russia, we're about Japan, China, but Donald Trump is doing all these tariffs on every fucking body, taking everybody and thinking that he's doing a great job, knowing tariffs is fucking up the United States. It's not fucking with another country, he's only messing with us. But he thinks it's messing with other countries. He's so, I don't understand. How did he learn this shit? Who did he learn this shit from? Who told him to do these things? Hey, fuck with the terrorists, Donald Trump. Fuck with the terrorists. You'll do a lot for doing that. Okay, I'll do that. But he don't think. You're a grown-ass man. You're in your 70s. You're a grown man. He still acts like he's a playboy. He still wants to be looked at as what he was when he was younger. He knows he's old. He knows he's sick. He knows he's sick-minded. He's not the same person. He wants people to he wants that same aura. He wants people to look at that same aura of him like almost like 40 or 50 years ago. Nobody cares about that no more. He's a different man. Ever since he was the president the first time, he changed before he almost went to jail. He changed his whole mindset to destroy the people, the Republicans and Democrats. Not just one people. He's doing it to both parties. He don't care about the Republican Party neither. I keep telling you, he was never a Democrat. He was never a Republican because he was going to be a Democrat first. But he became a Republican because all the rich motherfuckers were on the Republican side because he was going to be independent. But he came to be a motherfucking Republican. He was going to be Democrat first. But the thing about it is that he thought that this will help him become powerful, to be a king, to be a ruler, if he has these rich motherfucking entrepreneurs on his side. And he has rich entrepreneurs, but they're using him to get to the people that really Donald Trump should honestly be helping, like how Hitler tried to destroy the Jews, which he could have won the war by using the Jews, helping them fight the war. But he took all the Jews and put them in concentration camps. That's how he lost the war. But Donald Trump is doing the same thing. He's going after the American people, losing the American people like he did before. But he's really losing them now. And he's losing his party too. Even the people in his own cabinet think he's an idiot. But they don't say nothing to him because they believe they'll lose their seats. That's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of losing their seats and power. Not helping the American people, because I know some of their families have to be poor. All their families are not rich. Most of their family are poor. So they have to look at their family like, God damn, Donald Trump's taking it away from my cousin, my uncle, my nieces. Damn, I watched them grow up be poor because I was poor once upon a time. No, these motherfuckers are sitting up there. Okay, Donald Trump, sign that piece of paper. Oh, you will give me some good tax cuts for what? What do you need a tax cut for? You're already rich. Just to see the people in the United States fall. Just like this Epstein thing is making people think that the United States government and presidents are just so slimy. Because you can't come out and tell the truth. You gotta hide shit. And knowing the proof is right there, you don't want to do anything about it. And people are not people are talking about it, but I don't think nobody is going to ever be able to do anything because Donald Trump is taking away the government. If he takes away the government, we are in big fucking trouble. And I tell black people all the time, if Donald Trump takes away the government, we are in big fucking trouble. That's back to slavery, dog. That's back to slavery. We're going to be sitting up there in slave chains working for a white man again. And sold as product. This is what I'm saying. We need to fucking start talking. Black people want to stay away from this shit. I'll tell black people, you can't stay away from something they're going to take from you. They're taking things from us, too. They're not just taking things from the immigrants. They're not just taking from the whites, the Puerto Ricans, the Asians, the Chinese. They're taking away from stuff from us, too. We're the ones that are sitting there needing things, too. We need welfare. We need child care. We need health care. We need all this shit in our backyard. But he's taking that shit away from us. And black people want to blame, immigrants. Why are you blaming immigrants for? Immigrants has nothing to do with what Donald Trump is doing. Donald Trump is honestly doing something to get us back in slavery. Instead of disrespecting the immigrants, we should be on the immigrant side, actually protesting with them and saying, yo, Donald Trump, you can't be doing this shit, because once the immigrants go, we're next to be taken in slave chains. Don't you understand? It's like what they did to the Native Americans, dog. The same fucking thing. The Native Americans were here. Guess who they brought right behind the Native Americans? They brought Africans. Remember that. Remember that. They took the Native Americans, put them in a box, and shipped them off to freaking different parts of the country and gave them land. That really, honestly, they didn't even want the fucking land, but they took the land because they gave them reservations. But they tried to take the reservations from them again. And then they did it to Africans. When Africans came over here, guess what they made us? They made us slaves. They made us work for 200 and something years. Next thing you know, we get free. Black people just forgot that we were fucking slaves, and we want to worship the white man. And the white man didn't want nothing to do with us. They gave us shit to keep us here, to make us shut the fuck up, so we won't be out there protesting and doing civil rights movements. They're trying to keep us from the civil rights movements and protesting. That's why they were giving us stuff. But they didn't have to give us shit. They didn't have to give us welfare. They didn't have to give us child care. They didn't have to give us freedom. They didn't have to give us nothing. Even Lincoln didn't have to go and do that. Lincoln didn't even have to ask black people to come and fight the war for him. He didn't have to ask. But he saw all his fucking people dying, so he had to go and start getting black people to fight. And it wasn't just black people, too. It was all cultures. Indians were fighting. Mexicans were fighting. All cultures were fighting for this country at that one time. Because they had an opportunity to get free land. Because Lincoln was offering land to every fucking body. Not just Africans. And when Africans did get land, they got kicked out. They picked and choose who they wanted to be representing this country. Black people never represented this country even if we built this country from scratch and the way up to heaven, we are not anything to these motherfuckers, dog. Donald Trump don't care about the black man and the black woman and the black child. He doesn't care. He sees us as what every white person has seen us for the past 250 years. They see us the same way. They're never going to change their thought about us. They're not going to say, oh, I like this one. No, they're never going to. They're going to always know what we were before we became what we are today. We were once slaves. We were once hated. We had our leaders assassinated. We had all these people that were standing for us. Now they're gone, and we're by ourselves now, and they know that. So they take advantage of us and use us as puppets. Like they always use us as puppets during the election. They always go after black people first. Hey, vote for this person. We'll give you better child care. We'll give you better health care. We'll give you more money. You know it's a goddamn lie. You know they're not going to give a shit. You know they're not going to do anything for the schools. They're not going to give anything for us to get better health plans. Our children are still dying. We have no food. We have guns all over the fucking place. We still got drugs everywhere. Where do we ever change? They say they're going to take drugs out of our neighborhoods. They're going to say they're going to start making, they're going to help us build better stores, restaurants, shopping centers, put things in our neighborhood. What happened? Where they at? Oh, but they're always going to blame black people for tearing it down, knowing that the white man had torn it down for many, many generations. The rioting, the shooting, Tulsa, Greenwood, New York, all these places that we had black thriving towns or communities, they're all gone. And now we live in the white neighborhoods that the white people are trying to move back into, kick the black people out. So this is what we are going through right now. And we don't care. And as I've seen people now are going to the voting booths and voting for these presidents, you know they should not be in office. Because we want to have a sticker on our chest. We want to have our chest puffed out and say, yeah, I voted. No, it has nothing. You can't vote for somebody that tells you they're going to do something for you. Because they do it every fucking 4 years. Or every 8 years. They do it. And they know that you're going to vote for them. They'll use a rapper. They'll use a football player. They'll use a basketball player. They'll use some whatever they can use to get black people to vote. Barbecues, basketball games, anything to get black people to vote. And black people run out there and put their stamp on it and say, I voted. Why? Who you vote? You don't even know that motherfucker you voting for. You just put it in there because you like him because he's black, or he act black, or he likes black. That don't mean anything because them rich entrepreneurs, they don't care about you. But they got rich people backing them up. You don't pay for their black people don't pay to get them elected. They already choose the people that they're going to elect. If they elect a black man, they only elect a black man because they want black people to leave it alone. The next black woman, which will never happen, or even woman president, that will never happen, because they know that they put a woman to go into trying to be in office. They know that they will get views. CNN, Fox News, all these fucking news corporations will get views because a woman is and trying to be in power. And that it doesn't matter if you have Hillary or even Harris be up there on the top, they're going to lose because number two, these motherfuckers are going to make sure, because you got the white supremacies and you got the men that don't like women or don't want women in power are not going to vote for a woman to be elected because they feel that a man should be in power, which I still don't understand that, because there's a lot of women around the world that are presidents, governors, prime ministers that are doing a very good job in their fucking country as leaders. But the United States has been run by men for nearly 400 years, and they don't want a woman to be president of the United States. Some fear that a woman will change the country a little bit different than a man. Had never changed the country, because men, like I said before, we are having problems running this country as it is now, because we're war dominant. We love to have war. We love to go and take shit from people. We want to be dominant. We want to be superior. We want to be known as one of the toughest presidents of all time. Why? Your people in your country should be more important than you worrying about another fucking country that's thousands of miles away across the fucking ocean that half of us don't even fucking will never visit. In this country, well, half of the motherfuckers don't even leave this country to even go to another country. So how do you know what's going on in that country when you watch CNN and Fox News that they all read from a teleprompter and a piece of fucking paper? And they lie to you because they have to get likes and views, just like you would do if you were up there on TikTok trying to talk to a video to try to get likes and views. You're doing the same thing as they do. The only thing they do, they get to travel. But they also get to lie. Because they're not going to give you all the information, because that's not what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to give you a little information, and then they're supposed to cut it off and probably give you a little bit more information later to make you open your eyes to want to watch the news later on. Oh, they got more information. It's going to come on at 6 o'clock. You turn on that news at 6 o'clock, they're going to give you the rest of the information, because that's how they get views. That's how they give you. This is the way the news work. And I always say that's the one thing Donald Trump has told the truth about. The news lies. They do. They lie to you. Your local news, every news lies. They have to. They have to make sure you get views. They get views. Likes and comments. Remember, this is the year 2025. This is not like the old days where they didn't have views and shit like that. You only watched the news because you watched it. They didn't have that you could like or view it or comment. They didn't have that shit. And so now they're using that against people. Like, this Epstein thing is going to make news all over the world, and people are going to keep on watching about the Epstein thing. It could be a nuclear bomb being dropped on another country. The United States will not care. As long as we listen about Epstein, as long as we listen about Puff Daddy, as long as we listen about things that don't fucking matter, we care about only things that we like. We can go to war right now. Our heads will be on our phones. Because you know why? Because this is what America does. We never known what it felt like to be like other countries that's going through shit. Like really, really, really going through shit. Until now, we're starting to go through what these other countries are going through, and we are fucking shocked about it. And it's going to get far worse. Because for the next few years, Republicans are going to be in the House. And everybody's talking about this. And I don't fear none of these motherfuckers. I don't fear none of these motherfuckers. Because they're nothing but speakers of the House. I don't care about the vice president. Care about him. He only 30-something fucking years old. He's still a child. I'm 50. He's still a child to me. Like, come on, man. What he can do with it that Donald Trump has probably done far worse. I fear Donald Trump more than I fear this young boy. At least Donald Trump could do things that out the blue and make you shocked. This motherfucker just trying to agree with Donald Trump just because he's a vice president. I hate it. I hate the way this country's going on. The country was supposed to be built in power for us to be the most powerful country, the number one currency. We're supposed to be number one in everything. We fell apart, not just because of Donald Trump. It's many other things that made this country fall apart. Because other countries is actually proving a point about this country for the past hundreds of years of how we are just thieves and liars, and how we go to other countries and take what we want, like they've been doing ever since this country was like discovered, from the Native Americans to the Africans and to many other cultures. Like they even did it when they did it to the Japanese. It was so sickening what they did to the Japanese, dog. I never knew that they put them in fucking concentration camps during the war. Internment camps. Just how they put the immigrants in the internment camps, they did the same to the Japanese. During the war. Because they attacked Pearl Harbor. Why are these citizens, what the citizens of the United States have, and they were, you know what the thing about it? They were actually citizens of this country. They were citizens. And you forgot about the other million motherfucking people. They don't talk about the past. Because they don't like I said, they never talk about the past. Because when you talk about the past, they want to bring up fact checks and shit. Because this is the reason why a lot of people don't know anything about the past. But when people start talking about the past, like how they were doing things to immigrants, like so when they came here and they got their green cards and all that kind of stuff, they actually took them out the country too. Because I think it was during Truman, I think it was the 1930s and 50s. I think they did the same thing as Donald Trump has done now. And Obama did the same thing too. So we can't let that man go past. Because like I said before, it's a fact that I don't know why we're afraid of things. Why are we afraid of things? Like, no other country cares about this country. No other country cares. Because if they did, we would have been going to war with all the countries around the world. Even Germany was trying not to put the United States into the war. You know what I mean? Hitler didn't even want to mess with the United States at the time. You know what I mean? But he didn't care about the United States. He cared about many other things that were going on to get and take. He only declared war because Japan the one that dropped the bomb. Japan declared war against the United States. That's the reason why Hitler declared war. If Japan never attacked the United States, Hitler probably would never declare war against the United States until after he got every single country that he wanted. Because he was trying to get the United States last. But the thing about it is that the United States like to pick with other countries. And when we mess with them, the other countries even look to mess with us, oh my God, Oh, we got to send some soldiers over there, knowing they don't even care. Nothing about. If you threaten their country, why can't they threaten you back? Oh, so the United States should threaten anybody they fucking want, and nobody else could threaten them? Are you serious? This country knows that you have treaties. Donald Trump messed up a lot of treaties. And he kept on messing up treaties and keep on messing up treaties and keep on messing up treaties. How many treaties he's going to mess up until we go to nuclear war? And people thinking that we got this military. I don't care about the military. Nuclear bombs are the things I care about. Because the nuclear bomb kills people. It disintegrates people. It can set a whole fucking city on fire. It can destroy a fucking planet. It can send radiation up into the atmosphere and block out the sun for nearly probably 1,000 years, probably. It can make it hot as an oven. People will walk around, don't even know they're dead or dying because they just got everything wiped away from their bodies. Like they're oh my God, it's crazy what people went through during Nagasaki and Hiroshima. People forgot about that. The United States is the only one to drop a bomb on somebody. We're the only country that done that. Killed 80,000 people with a nuclear bomb. Just imagine the technology today of the nuclear bombs we had today, of not just us, of Russia and many other countries that have the technology of the nuclear bomb that's making them bigger, better, and faster, what they could do to peoples across the country without using military. We worried about our military going fighting somebody else. No, it's called a red button, which Donald Trump has his fucking finger on, which he has the keys to. Donald Trump can launch a missile anytime he fucking wants to, dog. And these missiles come here within a few minutes of the time it's launched. And nobody will be able to survive. And you talk about war, military, they can save us. No, they can't save us from a missile. They could probably shoot the fuck down, but it's going to be more than one missile coming to the United States, and probably more than one missile going from the United States to another country. It's probably like 100 of them being sent at the same time, because you could probably be standing outside, the ground going to open up, you're going to see a missile come from the fucking ground. Because they got missiles all over the fucking place across the United States, underground. And y'all not afraid of that? You think your military's going to protect you? You think your president care once the missiles are launched? All they're going to fucking do is go to their bunker, sit in their bunker, sip on some caviar, eat some caviar, sip on some nice little bit of wine, and watch everybody die. They don't care about nobody once the missiles launch. They're going to be safe. The rich is going to be safe. They got little homes and bunkers all over the fucking place, hitting across the country. While we're sitting up here, going to be sitting in our homes, crying, praying, and repenting to a God to help us not die because of a nuclear bomb that man created. It's going to wipe us out. And I said, God ain't coming. The missiles are coming. And I say that a billion times. You want to believe in God? Go ahead. But you're going to see them big ass red dots come fucking flying out of nowhere and blow up over a fucking city. You going to believe God's going to save you from that? Hell no. You be disintegrated. You don't even know God exists after you be disintegrated. And all that repentance shit ain't going to work. Because they don't care. They don't care. They have control over us with a red button. So that red button is pressed. There's no way of coming back from that. It almost happened during the time of Reagan. When we went through the Cold War with Gorbachev. When they accidentally launched that motherfucking missile by accident that was heading towards the United States. And it was shot down. Or when they had that motherfucking explosion of the sun and they thought it was a nuclear missile being sent by the Russians, and the United States almost launched a missile over to Russia. Look it up. If you don't believe me, look it up. Because it did happen. Because they had a fucking sun explode. And the gamma ray burst was so tremendous that it was caught on computers, and they thought it was a missile being blown up. So the United States got scared, and they were like, no, I think it was Russia or the United States. One of them got scared. It was about to launch the missile, but it didn't happen because somebody said it was the sun. It was one of the suns out there that exploded. That could have ended a man's life right there. And I think that was like in the 70s or the 80s. You can look it up. People don't want to hear the truth. That's why people love lies so much. They want to fact check. I say, why do you fact check people when you teach people this stuff in school? Why are you fact checking me knowing you teach me this in high school? Or you taught me this in elementary school. You taught me this, and now you want to fact check me and tell me that I'm lying, knowing that I read from the same books that y'all fucking had, from the encyclopedias to the history books that I read and learned from a history teacher, to know about all the stuff that's going on in the past. Now you're going to tell me that I'm wrong. That's some bullshit. That's why I don't understand why they fact check people. Yeah, people don't know about the past. They'll probably just bring up stuff that they don't know nothing about because they don't study the past. But sometimes you know the past is repeating itself. They know the past is repeating itself. Like influenza, and now you have COVID. You know what I mean? They got fucking smallpox coming back. Chicken pox came back. All this stuff, earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes, tornadoes, all this stuff that happened in the past that damaged the United States is doing it again. It's a repeated cycle. It has nothing to do with a god or a devil. It has to do with just nature and human beings acting dumb. We're dumb. We're a creation that still don't know why we're still here. We've only been here for 1,000,000 years. That's not a long time. And half of the people that been here for centuries are still learning about life, still learning about all the stuff that's going on. They're discovering new things that never been discovered. So how can you tell me that you're going to fact check me? How do you fact check me and you don't even know what the fuck is going on? Because they want control. They don't want you to know anything. They want you to be dumb. And if you do know, they go after you. They'll block your page. They'll take you away from having things just because, or to take away your channel or do things like that because they don't want you to have shit. To actually have people follow you. That's why they cut down people's subscribers. That's why they cut down people's followers. That's why they don't want people to have followers to actually follow them and become cults. That's what they don't want. They'll give somebody a chance that make the most dumbest videos. They'll give them a chance. Like pranksters and all that kind of stuff. They'll give them a chance. But when people actually want to talk about things that are actually true, people don't want to listen to them because they hate the truth. They hate it so much that they actually, that's why I tell them, oh, well, why are you making that video for? Why are you talking like that? Why can't you just move on? Why? The things that are going on right now, we should not be fucking going through. The United States should not be going through this shit. I don't give a fuck what president is. We should be going through. Our president should be treating the fuckers like our government, anybody that's in power should not be treating a country that's supposed to be the most powerful country in the world with the largest currency ever. How the fuck you treating us like that? We work every day. We make money for this country every day. We try to build this country to be the most powerful country in the world, like how Rome was built. Now, Rome is falling apart just like this country is Rome. It's falling apart. And all the people are going to starve to death like they did with the Romans. And like what Hitler did to his people before he died, when he committed suicide. He starved his people. And it forced his people to fight, even though that he was long gone, dead. Trump is doing the same thing to us. Stalin did the same thing to his people. Hussein did the same thing to his people. Look at what we're going through. We're going through the same thing because like I always believe this country's cursed. And the people that were here, like the Native Americans, cursed this country when fucking Europeans came here. They cursed the Europeans and the people that were here with the Europeans, which they probably cursed the Africans too. Because we're going through a lot of shit. And the Native Americans like, fuck this. We're putting a curse on y'all. This country is cursed, dog. Now we're starting to see the reasons why the Native Americans cursed us. Because we never talk about the Native Americans. We always talk about immigrants, but we don't talk about how the first people that were here saw the first immigrant come to this fucking island. And they're the ones that took over the island and kicked the people that had the island and almost killed all of them. And then they took another people from another island to bring them here, and they were immigrants. Knowing black people know this shit, but we pretend like we wasn't immigrants. Did we always want to say, oh, we wasn't, we don't like the fact that immigrants are taking their jobs? What jobs are they taking from black people? What jobs? What jobs? I'm trying to figure out what jobs they're taking from us. Because I don't see black people going to farms and shit, working at farms and pulling out grapes and bananas and cutting grass and shit, or doing what these immigrants are doing to make money to try to give to their families, because they're not giving anything in this country. They're not giving food stamps, they're not giving any welfare, they're not giving anything. If you're not part of this country, you can't even get a loan if you're an immigrant. You got to be an actual citizens to get a loan. They can't get a credit card. They can't get nothing. They can't even get a driver's license. So how the hell are they taking shit from people? We can go to their country, do everything we fucking want, sit on their beaches, do anything we want. You know what I mean? Have sex with their women, have sex with their men, do anything we want. But people say, well, we're not immigrants. We go over there and that's non-immigrant. Motherfucker, yes you do, because you're an immigrant once you go to their country. Once you go to another country, you're an immigrant. I don't give a fuck if you have a passport. You're still a fucking immigrant. You only have a few days to stay in that country until you have to go to the embassy to go back to your country because you're labeled as an immigrant. So basically, we are immigrants too when we go into other people's country. But what we do, we sit there, sit back, relax, like we own this shit. But when they come here, we want to treat them like shit. Because we had this big ass fool telling us they're bad people. Knowing that that man had immigrants work for him. Knowing that man was treating immigrants wrong. Knowing he was treating black people wrong too. Knowing they sued his ass. This is what they did to Donald Trump. Sued him. Because he was treating them like shit. Wouldn't even pay them. He said black people shouldn't. He wouldn't even hire black people to work at his hotels. And he said black people shouldn't even count his money. Like, come on, this is the man that people voted into office and say, oh, well, he's not a racist. Where? What? Like, y'all really are blinded or you don't know the man. You only know the man because he had a TV show called The Apprentice. That's probably one of the top shows of all time. But people were like, oh, that's all I know him from. Because I'm sitting up there looking at these people thinking, like, do they know who Donald Trump is before he became president of the United States? Or they're acting dumb. Because people should know who he was before he was president. Everybody should know who that man was before he became in office. Before he said in 1986 that he was going to be running for president in the future. People should have known who that man was. And who he hang out with. And who his family really was. They should have known that. People act like they don't know who he is. Oh, we never seen him before. What? He was on TV so many times. He was sued so many times. He had women come out, talk bad about him, about all the things he did to women and shit like that for a long period of time. Now, all of a sudden, people are, oh, I don't know who Donald Trump is. Donald Trump was a politician. He was never a politician. Lincoln wasn't even a politician. He was a lawyer. Donald Trump was never a lawyer. He was a freaking motherfucking entrepreneur. He never knew anything about politics. Zero. He just runs his mouth like he does. He don't know what the hell he's talking about because he has somebody behind him or he has a teleprompter when he can't barely read. Because people say he can't read a teleprompter because they're probably illiterate. And he sits up there and tells you what you want to hear. Because people love lies. He'll tell you a lie in front of your face and you'll believe him. Just because the man has a voice. Just because he's aggressive. He's not aggressive. He's an aggressive man. Yes, he is. Because he's always been in charge. When you're a boss, and you remind me of my sister. My sister been a boss for a company for a long period of time. She's very aggressive, regardless. Even when she's not even at work, she's very aggressive because she always still thinks she's a boss when she's home. Because that's always going to happen. Aggressive people that always had power is always going to still be aggressive. But people don't see it as we see it. We were living with them or be around them because we know that they're bosses and we know they're former bosses and they're aggressive because they're so used to power. Donald Trump is like that. Donald Trump is so used to power, he's very aggressive. He's always going to be this way. You see, even when he wasn't the president, he was still aggressive. He still talked the way he talked because he thought he still was in power and he think he still had control over the nation, over the Republicans. And he was trying to bring some Democrats in too because he thought he still had that power. That's why he wants to be a king, because he wants to use that power over everybody so nobody can tell him what to do or do what people want him to do. He can do whatever he wants to do. That's why he's trying to take away the government. Once he take away the government, we have a big ass problem. And the government has to fight him from being taken away, even though the government's never going to go nowhere, because I believe the government cannot be touched, but Donald Trump is going through loopholes to find a way to get rid of the government. And if he does, he's going to take everything from everybody. And he's going to probably start making internment camps, not just the Alligator Island. He's going to make more internment camps. This is the reason why he's having this fun with this Epstein thing. Because he know everybody's worried about this Epstein thing. Nobody worried about anything the fuck else is going on in this country. We just had a big ass flood. They stopped talking about that shit. I told you, the United States people do this all the fucking time. The United States will go through a protest, they'll go through some fighting for some shit, and next thing you know, they'll stop talking about it. Like that flood that killed all them people. They're not talking about that shit no more. Everybody's talking about the Epstein thing. And once the Epstein thing's over, they'll talk about Puff Daddy. Again, just to keep what's going on in this country, that Donald Trump is signing all these bills, because all these bills are being signed while we fighting about Epstein, Puff Daddy, and many other things we're fighting about that has nothing to do with what we should be fighting about. He's getting bills signed. He's putting bills in that's going to keep on making us poorer and poorer and poorer. This man is doing what he's... Honestly, for a man that's dumb, it's smart for me, because a lot of leaders did that. They'll use the internet or propaganda or some type of shit that's going on to just keep on signing the bill. This motherfucker is signing the bill right now. We don't even know what the fuck about. And probably next week we're going to learn about the bill that he signed about, everybody's going to get fired at their job. Everybody's going to lose their job. We don't know, because we're so up in the ass of Epstein. We don't know what this man is doing on the, behind closed doors. This motherfucker got another bill probably in front of him signing that shit. And it's something that we don't even know about until it comes out in the press. And then we're shocked. We're upset. Oh my God, he signed another bill. Because we're so worried about fucking Epstein. We're so worried about Puff Daddy. We're so worried about things that should not be fucking worried about. We're worried about other people in other countries. We're about Putin. We're about China. We're about Japan. We're about Korea. We're worried about them. We're not worried about what's going on in this fucking country that's going on right now. He can take all the guns from us right now. We probably won't have the rights to carry anymore. He probably might sign a bill for that. We won't even know until they start talking about it. And people are going to be mad. Oh my God, he took guns from us. Oh my God, it's one of our amendments. But we were so worried about Epstein, why the fuck we didn't pay attention to what he's doing? This country is falling apart. We need to change, man. We are a very powerful people. All cultures should stop fighting with each other. We're going against one man. You know what I mean? Everybody say they don't like the devil, but the devil's winning, right? And I don't believe in the devil. You know what I mean? But if the devil is like him, that's a crazy motherfucking devil. You know what I mean? Because I don't get into that religion thing, but if people believe in God, if people accept God as their savior, the truth, and the way, why the fuck you following this man? God is the truth and the way, but you put that man in office, which is a liar. That doesn't tell the truth. That want to see people, he doesn't care nothing about people, to see them all fail and die. He took the education system and he's destroying the education system, even though it's already messed up. But we have more people in prison than any country in the world. But we're not worried about how our prisons are overflowed. But he's trying to lock up more motherfuckers and build these internment camps. Like, we don't have a big-ass prison system with all these motherfuckers locked up. But he's building these internment camps, putting immigrants in. And where's that money coming from? Is it coming from the taxpayers? Or is it paying for private companies? Is it coming from Michael Jordan? Is it coming from Bill Gates? Is it coming from Buffett? We don't know where this money's coming from. Because they don't have $1 billion to build prisons. Now, he wanted to rebuild Alcatraz. He wanted to reopen Alcatraz. But you know that's a historic building. He can't do that. So he built this, and I believe that's not the only internment camp, because I believe that the airport in Denver is a fucking internment camp. I believe Walmart is an internment camp. If you really look at Walmart, you can actually see what Walmart really looks like a prison. I used to work at Walmart, and me and my coworkers used to look at Walmart, and you will see these little things. It's like, God, this could be a prison. Walmart, what other places? Malls. They're building malls that could make into prisons. They have them all over the place. You got to be more diligent to see that they're ready to put the American people in these internment camps. Because if we go out there and protest, or we have a civil war, they're going to try to get us from doing that. They don't want us to actually go against them. That's the reason why they put these immigrants in these concentration camps, and they say internment camps like Alligator Island, to make people like us afraid. Donald Trump has put them into Alligator Island. Okay, well, we don't want to be put there. But they already have these prisons already built. Because my dad used to built these prisons when he was in prison. He was part of the chain gang that used to build the prisons underground. My dad told me they're all over the fucking place. They're all over the place. And these prisons are the ones that they take these people and they say they commit suicide and they put them in these prisons. Like they take these kids that disappear. They take them to these jails or these underground hidden places so they can never be seen again. Kids and adults. That's why you always see the thing called the 411. People that are missing. People just disappearing out of the blue. And it's been going on 2 years during the pandemic. It was morally like black people were disappearing like hotcakes. And even especially children and women were disappearing. And nobody could find out where they are. Now everybody talk about sex trafficking and all the kind of stuff. But it was more than that, man. Like I said, money is slavery, dog. It's always been and it always will be. Because like I said, we're slaves. It never changed during slavery. The only thing about it is that you're making money, but you still work on the plantation. You still work for a slave plantation owner. Because they force you to work every day. Like, there's no chance that you ever will be able to be relaxed. The United States people can't relax like every other country probably could, because people think other countries are not rich. Are you fucking mind? There's countries out there that got money. They got probably more money. They got more money than they can spend, but they probably don't. They don't treat their people like they treat us. We're being treated like how other countries are looking at us, saying, "Damn, we don't treat our people like that," because we don't have the laws that they have. Our laws are going to be changed anyway because the poor can't change the laws because we don't got no money. How can a poor person change the laws? We can't. We are broke. Only the rich can change laws. They can change the laws anytime they fucking want. We can't. We got to sit there and see what laws are being changed, hoping it's not a law that's going to put us in deep, deep trouble. Like they're doing now with these laws that they keep changing over and over and over again and taking out of the Constitution, taking out of the Declaration of Independence, and they're looking at us and laughing at us. They're like, yo, these motherfuckers are laughing at us, dog. These white entrepreneur, white, black, whatever, they're not even white. They're not even white neither because they're blacks, they're Puerto Ricans, they're Indian, all of them are rich. You got some rich everybody in this country that don't care nothing about the American people. They want to see them suffer. They want to see us suffer for some fucking reason, knowing they need us. So I was watching this guy talk yesterday about women. Then he switched over and talk about jobs and how men should be the ones that take on the responsibility to take care of the home. And I'm looking at him like, what jobs? You tell me what jobs they're hiring unless you're going to see other jobs from other countries come here. Which you got the billionaires, they're going to be coming here, building factories. And guess who's going to be working for the factories? The poor, the middle class. So we're not going to be making that much money anyway, because once they come here, minimum wage is still going to be the fucking same. And you're going to be forced to work of how much they're going to pay you, or you might not get paid at all. You might go back to free slave labor work, because that's what Donald Trump is trying to do anyway. He's trying to force people to work for these big name companies. That's why he's bringing them here to the United States. Once he brings them here to the United States, people are going to be forced to work for these big name companies. We're going to be sitting up there working for Amazon, maybe some company in China, Germany, whatever these rich people that are out there, Sudan. Everybody know about Sudan. They're rich as hell. They're going to be bringing some companies here too. I mean, they already got the Wrestling Federation. So just think about, they're trying to buy the NFL too. So basically, they got money. So they're trying to bring their riches here, and they're going to force us as poor people to work because we're going to be desperate. We don't have food stamps. We don't have no insurance. We don't have nothing. So we're going to be forced to work for them. And we're going to be sitting on our asses, getting up early in the morning and doing the same thing our ancestors did when they had to get up early in the morning to go out there in the fields. We're going to be doing the same fucking thing. But this time they're not going to be using whips and chains. They're not going to be doing that shit. Because they know that we need the money. And they can fire us at any time. And they know that we need to work. They know that we need to have the white man's greenbacks, former slave owners, currency to make us work. Because that's all we care about. Like I said, people care about things and still taken away from them. The United States people only care about money. They don't care who's on the front of the dollar bill. They don't care that it was the former slave owner, which was a white supremacist, just like this man right here that's the president of the United States is the same as the people that are on the dollar bill and on a $20 bill, on a $100 bill, on a $50 bill, and many other bills, even a $5 bill. He didn't care nothing about nobody but power. So we are obsessed with power. We want to be obsessed with the greenbacks, thinking that that's the only thing that's going to save our lives until they change the currency into gold. If they change the currency into gold, guess who won't be able to afford to have gold? Poor people. And you know they ain't going to give us no gold. So basically, once they change the currency, which they might do one day, because Putin is trying to do that. I think Gaddafi tried to do that, but he got killed. Then you have other people like Jong-un want to change his currency, and the United States want to have to change their currency. And the United States people can't have that because all we know is the dollar bill. For the past 100 and something years, ever since the dollar bill was created, that's all we know. We don't know any other currency. So if we change over to a new currency, which we won't be able to use any of the electrocurrency, because what person knows how to use crypto and all that other style of shit in the computer? No, we don't know how to use that shit. And even if we get cards, which they can put money on cards, which might not be money, it might be actually your credit that they actually might use for you to use to buy shit. Your own credit. So if your credit is fucked up, you won't be able to buy shit. They can start doing that, which they probably might start doing that because, like I said, money is going to be something they want to get rid of, like they did pennies. They're going to try to get rid of money next. And they're going to try to use it on a card. And I know a lot of people are not going to be able to use cards because when money comes on a card, it might not just be money. It might be your credit. And if you fuck up your credit, you won't be able to buy a house, a car, like you're doing now with your credit fucked up. That means you got to keep your credit looking good. If you got a card and only you can buy certain things with your credit. And if you fuck that up, you're not going to be able to buy anything. And they don't have to use money. They don't have to put money on a card. They can use your credit. They can give you a high-ass credit. Because they had a movie like that. They had a dude had, it starts off like a million. They give you $1 million in credit. And they can take your credit away from you every time you did something wrong. You got locked up. If you overspend. You did whatever. It was a movie. I forgot what the movie's called. But they used their credit. They didn't have money. And people were losing their credit. So they had to do things to get credit. Like they had to do something crazy to get credit. Or they had to try to find a way to get infinite credit. But they couldn't get the infinite credit unless they killed somebody or something like that. I forgot what the movie's called. I'm going to find that movie. And I'm going to post that shit. But it's probably, I'm going to find it on YouTube. But the thing is that that's what they can do to us. We don't have to use paper money no more. Once we start using our credit, who's going to fucking be able to buy shit? Because all our credit's fucked up. And people that always try to straighten out their credit, they probably not going to be able to do the same thing they used to do by going to somebody to straighten their credit out. It's not going to happen like that. Once your credit's fucked up, you won't be able to buy nothing. And it's probably be like food, clothes. It'll probably be something for your kids that you probably need your credit for that you won't be able to actually use your credit to buy because what's the point? Your credit's fucked up. Like my credit's fucked up. So if my credit was fucked up and I had a car and I couldn't use my credit to go and buy shit, I'll be fucked up right now without no house, no home, no car, no nothing. I'll be broken homeless. Because that's the fucking reason why people should be happy that money still exists. Because like I said before, they're getting sick and tired of money. It's too much of it. That's why they're burning that shit. Because they got too much of it. That's why they're trying to cut down on money and trying to figure out another way. They don't have to use currency anymore. And they will probably by the year 2050. Or probably after 2050, they're going to find another way for people to not use currency and another way to buy shit through credit. And not credit cards by you getting money through credit. No, your credit. Your credit. Your credit that's over top of your head. That little number over your head, that 7 something or that 9 something over top of your head. That's the motherfucking credit they're going to use. And they know that they have power to do that, but they're not doing it now because everybody's obsessed with money. But once they figure out a way to keep the United States citizen in debt, which we are the biggest debt country in the world, because we love spending money on the most dumbest shit. So basically, we are going to be the ones that are going to be deeper in trouble once they change the currency. I talk about that a lot about people about currency. But people don't want to fucking listen to me. Everybody thinks the dollar bill is going to last for a billion years. It's not. Once upon a time, they didn't use money. They used trade. Then they started using IOUs. Then they started using currency. Then when they started using currency wasn't going to be used that long, but they did because they have control over it. The government has control over the currency. As long as they have control over it, they'll use it. Now, once somebody else try to change their currency, the United States will probably say, no, you can't do that. We shouldn't do that. Because a lot of other countries want to change the currency because the United States oil prices are so fucking high. That's the reason why they don't want to use their currency no more. The United States need to change their currency pretty soon. And they will. And the United States is going to be caught off guard with that. The United States citizens not going to know what the fuck to do once they change their currency. We're going to be stuck. We're like, God damn, how are we going to pay our rent? How are we going to pay our bills? Because we don't know what to do. Because we don't got food stamps no more. We don't got fucking insurance that we got to pay out of pocket now. So how are we going to do all these things to buy food, pay our insurance, pay our car insurance, our mortgage, all that shit, rent? We're not going to be able to do that because we are turning over to a new currency that we don't even have. Knowing that the United States government is going to change it over to gold. Which they can do. Because the United States, it's crazy. The United States is a messed up country, man. We are a messed up country, man. We need to change something. We need to wake up. We need to start being woke. Everybody's sleeping. Everybody's worried about what's going on in other worlds and not worried about what's going on in their own country. Next door neighbor or down the street, whatever. Not caring about what's going on in their own country that, that's falling apart. And one day we're going to wake up. One day, it was going to be too late. It's going to be late. It's going to be too late. See, people don't like other people's opinion. People don't like that people talk about things that actually matter. People love lies because they feel a lie is better than the truth because it's more soft as the blow of, fear. Because like I said, truth is fear. Because people fear the truth. Like I'm telling you, like once upon a time when I was growing up, you couldn't even lie. Because lie was never acceptable. Today, a lie is acceptable. Lies bring you friends. It brings you power. It brings you females. It does. It brings women. It brings men. It brings anything to the table. People, you can have I'm telling you, I lost a lot of friends by telling the truth. When I used to lie all the time, I had a whole bunch of friends. When I started telling the truth and being more blunt and being more upfront and talking about stuff like this, people distance themselves. People call you crazy because you speaking the truth. People don't like you tell the truth, so they'll tell you, well, the biggest people that tells the truth are the ones that are brokest. I say to myself, honestly, you can't say that because the one that talks the most are the brokest. Well, I don't understand how that is because there's a lot of motherfuckers out there that talk more than me that are billionaires. And this guy named Warren Buffett, he talks his fucking ass off, and this motherfucker's a multi-billionaire. This motherfucker 90-something years old, and he's still talking. You know what I mean? So, I don't get it. Like, you don't want to hear the truth. You want to hear me lie. And that's the only way I can make friends? Come on, man. I'm sorry. I don't want to make no friends lying. I used to lie all the time. I don't want to do that shit no more. I want people to know the truth. Because if you believe in God, which everybody says they believe in a God, so why is it that you like a lie so much? Why do you accept that? Why you draw to lies? If you believe in God. If God is in your corner, you're going to church every Sunday, and you're putting your knees on that pedestal, John, and you're a Christian, you're a Protestant, whatever you are, and you believe in God, how the hell do you love people that lie to you? Why do you call people crazy that actually is trying to tell the truth? Why do you say that person need help if that person's trying to make you open up your mind and see what's going on out there in the world, even though you see it, but you act like you fucking dumb and you blind? Why do you accept that? Why do you hate a person that has a lot of energy that wants you to hear? And I'm not saying you gotta listen to me. You don't gotta agree with me. I'm just sitting there and let you say, why don't you just listen? You don't agree with me? That's your preference. That's your right not to agree with me. But to hate me, to call me names, to disrespect me, all these things people do to me just because I have a voice and I have the right of a free speech in a country that's supposed to be freedom of speech and the right to protest, the right to do things. I can't do it because people in this country hate it so much. So won't they just take all our rights away and we won't fucking be able to do shit? Just let Donald Trump take all our rights away and see how people feel when they don't have their rights, all their rights taken. Like women used to have their rights taken away from them hundreds of years ago. Women couldn't do shit. And let men have their rights taken away and see how it feel to not be able to speak your mind and be able to protest and be able to talk about things that's going on in the world or in your own country. Donald Trump can do that shit. Government can do that shit. Take our freedom of speech away from us. What they're trying to do right now. But like I said, people today love the internet. They believe the internet is real. They believe the internet tells the truth. That's the reason why they're so invested in not hearing the truth from people that are human, that are real. They rather hear from an AI tell you these things. An AI, not a human being. You know, they actually read books and shit before the computer was ever invented. The people say, well, books lie. Yeah, books do lie. But at least the books probably tell a better truth than a computer does. AI does, because they're programmed. A book has to be written. A computer has to be programmed. So basically, I can just tell a computer to lie about everything I fucking want them to lie about. So you got facts and fictions through books. Computer can lie right in front of your face, but you believe what the fucking computer says. Which, you got that motherfucker Musk created that type of software to make the computer lie. It'd be very evil. You don't think they could create something to make people turn on other people? Which they're doing right now with racism and hate and lies and all that kind of shit. Making people turn into enemies, man. That's crazy. Friendship doesn't even exist no more. It doesn't, because friendship is lost in lies. I love my people. Please subscribe and like. I don't give a fuck if y'all say things negative about me. Cool. I accept people saying things bad about me. But I'm very blunt. And like I said, I'm not an educated motherfucker. I'm not a genius. Because even geniuses ask these questions. And I'm not a genius and I never will be. But I love history a lot. I love talking to people like the older generation. I love talking to them because they give me a lot of ammo to use. I even like talking to people that are former military, that were probably in World War II and probably Vietnam and all. I love talking to military, older generation. I love dipping and diving with the older generation because the older generation tells me things that I have never ever will been told by anybody in my generation or even the newer generation. So that's why I talk to the older generation, because they're the ones that actually make me open up my mind more. You know, because the younger generation will never listen. My generation is following the new generation because the new generation is pulling my generation in with them into this fucked up world that we live in. And even my generation should not be even bothered with the new generation, but we are, because this is their generation and not ours. We should let them have their generation, but we won't let them have their generation because we want to be involved in their generation for some fucking reason. We're Generation X. Why the fuck do we worry about Generation Z? The millennials should be worried about Generation Z. We should be worried about nothing. We should be in power, number one. My generation should be in power. Generation X should be in power right now. We should be presidents and senators and governors. We're in that stage in our 50s. We should be in power. Why are we worried about this younger generation for? Let them have their generation. Let them have their Facebook. Let them have their TikTok. Let them have all this shit. Why are we dragging ourselves into this shit? We don't need none of this shit. We're old. We want to be young. We can't get out of being. We don't want to be. We don't want to grow. We want to still be young. We want to still hang around our nieces and nephews and our grandchildren, our daughters. We just can't go out and just do shit for ourselves and just be old and die. And let this generation is going to struggle what they have to go through for the next 100 years. Or 20 years or 10 years, and the next generation will pop up after them and fuck with this generation, fuck with that generation. We should just let let these people have let this generation go on, and the Generation Z's or alphabets or Roman numerals or Egyptian, whatever they're using for letters and numbers, we should let them have this generation. Why are we following and trying to chase this generation to be young? We saw the internet be involved and invented. We saw all that shit. We were there when they came out with the first cell phone. We were there when they first came out with the first computer. We were there when they came out with the first everything. We seen it. Not the first computer. Computer been out long before that. But I'm just sitting there saying, dial up, all that. So we saw that first. So why the fuck we need to accept like something's fucking new in this generation, knowing that this generation don't even know what the fuck happened 5 years ago or 10 years ago, because they were just born, or 15, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, they were just born. So if you're in your 50s or you're in your mid 50s or about to be 50, you should know what happened 20 to 35 years ago and what you have seen in that time of the cell phone or just the internet period. Knowing I said the internet is going to be our downfall, and it is right now, our downfall. The devil's playground. That's what I call the internet. I call it the devil's playground. And it's been going on for a long period of generations. The time ever since the internet was invented, it destroyed us as people of just not remembering. Before the internet, we had a lot of substance, families, friends, communication, communities, everything. We had everything that we didn't need a cell phone to cut us off, to have our head down looking at a screen all day. We didn't have that back then. And then that took all that away from us. For the times that we used to have fun with our friends, now we don't have fun with nobody. We're home. We want to be home. We want to be locked down all fucking day. Ever since the pandemic, people don't want to go outside anymore. Because their phone, their computers, their video games, everything has locked us down. We don't even need a pandemic to lock us in the house. People don't go outside because they're so worried about watching Netflix or playing their video game or watching some movie that the movie theater had in for 5 seconds, and they threw that movie onto fucking Netflix 5 days after the movie came out. So people can't really go to the movie. What's the point of having a movie go? What's the point of going to the movie theater knowing the next day the movie's going to be on Netflix? You waste $12 fucking to go to a movie, to sit there and watch the movie knowing the movie's going to be on Netflix 24 hours after the movie is done. After the movie came out. Why waste your money? They should close all the movie theaters down. They should close all the arcades down. Why go to an arcade? You got a video game sitting in your fucking house. Why? Why have a mall where you can go online and shop all day online? What is the point of having a mall? Why? People don't even go to bars. Why even go to a bar when people don't even go to bars? Why have clubs open where clubs are dying? Why have all this stuff? Why don't we can't enjoy ourselves like we did in the past? Why can't we party until we all die? Why? Why can't we enjoy ourselves? Because you know why? We can't. We can't. We gotta have depression, stress, anxiety. We gotta have all this shit. We gotta have all this shit mixed into our lives. We gotta have hate. We gotta have racism. We gotta have war. We gotta have this. We gotta have this shit in our life. Why? I don't know why. I don't know why. Why can't we party until the end of time? Why can't we go out and party every fucking day until the end of time? Why? Oh, because we got kids? Well, I don't think we can. That didn't stop us before for partying. We had kids. We were always out every weekend. Now people got kids and people using that as an excuse to not go out. But people will sit up there all day long, and I'm just being honest because I see it because this is how I've changed this. I said this a lot. I say, damn, it's a shame. We used to have some substance and fun. In my generation, and even though we're old, we're not even old. We're 50 years old is not old. We think once we turn 40, we lost everything in our youth. Knowing the 40s is something that's supposed to be our actually the greatest time of our life is our 40s. But we use our 40s as us, oh, I'm old, my legs are falling apart, my heart hurt, my legs hurt. But when you turn 50, how are you going to feel when you're 50? Because once we turn 50, how are we going to feel? Once we turn 60, But we might as well say we want to die at the age of 50 because we're complaining about being 40. I just don't get being a human being. I just don't half of the time. We don't want to have no type of enjoyment of our lives while we're here, but we're talking about, oh, why are you going to try to hurt yourself? Why are you trying to kill yourself? What, motherfucker? What am I doing that's great sitting here right now? I'm dying as it is because I'm sick. A lot of people are dying because they're sick. So you're going to waste your life just to wait to die? Knowing that all this shit that we did way before we went out and with the parties and clubs and all this other kind of stuff, when they had these things, but they shut them down to force us to stay home. They shut all that shit down to force us to be home, to not be able to go and say, oh, you know what, let's go out and enjoy ourselves, because we should do that because we know how to. This generation don't know how to. We could put the phone down. We could put the joystick down. But we don't want to because we are afraid that something's going to happen to us once we leave the house. Knowing that you can get killed in your own house by just sitting there with a bullet come hitting you in the back of your head. By you sitting on your damn fucking couch. It doesn't matter. Your house can explode. Anything can happen to you when you sit in your crib. It doesn't matter. Like death comes to you, knocks on your door, and comes to your house. Anytime it wants to. But why don't we enjoy ourselves as human beings? Especially my generation. We should be enjoying ourselves, man. We shouldn't be all worried about what's going to happen to us. If it happens, it happens. We already lived our lives as our generation at the age of 14, 15, 16, to our 20s, to our 30s. Now we're in our 40s, in our late 40s, going into our 50s. Why do we care about, what this generation is going through? They're going to go through shit worse than us because we never had the internet. We didn't have to rely on a computer to tell us what to do, where to be, and where to go. We didn't have to worry about that. We didn't have to worry about our weekends being boring. We didn't have to worry about our mom and dad not taking us no fucking where. They bought us a video game. We barely played it because we were always the fuck outside all the time. And this is the reason why I believe my generation likes video games. And we like to be on our phones. Because when we were younger, our moms and dads buys us like Genesis, Atari, ColecoVision, PlayStation, whatever we had. We barely played that shit. Because our moms and dads made sure our asses was outside. Playing outside. Now, when we came home on weekend, because we were only allowed to play our video games probably on the weekend. Because during the week, we had to go to school. So once we go to school, we had to come home and do our homework. Once we go and do our homework, we had to go to bed. So we would never get a chance to play our video games until the weekend. And even if we play our video games on the weekend, our parents would probably have something for us to do, like we had to do chores. Or we had to go outside and play outside, because our parents didn't want us in the house. So we never got a chance to actually play our video games. When we start a video game, lucky that we had to think our video games, well, Genesis didn't save until later on. But video games didn't save until later on. But we will be excited to go home and play our video game. But once we go in the house, our mom is using the TV. Because we probably had that one TV, or we had a TV that, our video game really didn't play well on, or something like that. So we really couldn't enjoy our video games. So nowadays, since we're older, and we can play our video games anytime we fucking want because we're adults now. That's the reason why I believe that video games were taken away from us when we were younger. So this is the reason why as we get older, we got more obsessed with video games. My generation. And even the cell phone. Think about the cell phone thing. When we were younger, we didn't have our own phone. A lot of us didn't have our own phone in our rooms. So when we used the phone, we had to use the phone by sticking to use it, or if we use it, our mom or dad or grandma will pick up the phone while we're talking to a female or a guy, whatever floats your boat. You talking to them, get off the phone, I need to use the phone. Mom, no, get off the fucking phone. We gotta hang the phone up. Mom will get on the phone, be on there for all times in the night. And then we had to probably wait until our mom go to sleep, or our dad or our grandma to use the phone. And we're hoping that they won't pick the phone up in the motherfucking middle of the night while we're talking some sex shit on the phone with the girl. So basically, once we got our cell phones, We started to be more happier now that our moms can't pick up the phone and tell us to use the phone when they want to use the phone. So that's the reason why my generation is obsessed with phones too. Because we never got the chance to use the phone like we wanted to use the phone when we were younger. Well, we don't use the phone anyway because we don't talk on the phone. We used to want to talk on the phone. Now we text. We're on some damn website. But we always wanted to have our own phone. And once we got our own phone, we got excited. And once that, we never looked back. But I always think it's because we never got to enjoy these things when we were younger because our parents made sure that we were out the house. Or we couldn't enjoy it because the parents were like, no, you can't use this. No, you can't use this. Sorry, you can't use this. No, I'm on the phone. Get off the phone. I'm gonna call your aunt. Well, you just no. I'm calling your aunt. I don't know what time I'm getting off the phone. So we had to go and stick to our homie house, use his phone, or we had to try to figure out a way to save money to get our own. Cause remember, our moms will always say, "Well, you need to get your own phone." No, we had a socket in our phone in our room, and I used to do this. I used to take the phone and take the phone in my room and use the phone in my room. Cause I always would have a phone socket. So it's that's why I believe the reason why we are always using the phone and the computer and shit like that because we're so obsessed of not having that in our past. And our parents never wanted not our parents never wanted us to stay wanted to be sitting around and not doing nothing. Oh, you gotta go outside. You should be outside right now. Playing. Mom, no, go outside. I said, get your ass outside. And now, if you're on punishment, everything was taken away from you. So you couldn't play a video game, couldn't watch TV, couldn't do anything unless you had one of those unless your parents spoiled you. That'd be different. But we don't do nothing. It's a shame. You know, it's a shame that we had drizzled down from being out on the porch, talking to our friends all night long, you know, to going to clubs, having fun, to being only in our 40s or even in our early 50s, thinking that the world has something against us, so we have to sit in the house all fucking day and be old at a young age. Because 50's not old, 40's not old. We're just half 100, but we're still young. We're not like in our 70s and our late 60s. We're only fucking 50 to 47, 48, 49 years old. We're still young. We're still in our prime. And we're sitting up here pretending like we're like 100 years old. Like we're in a wheelchair. Or we're eating out of a fucking, we're eating from a straw. And we're not none of that shit. We still can walk and talk and do things. It's just that we just got scared of being old. We don't want to be we want to be young. So we try to be young, but we can't. So we just say, you know what, fuck it, let's stay home. Let's stay in the house all day. They're gonna shoot us. They're gonna kill us. Like, come on, man. I've been in the worst neighborhoods in my life, and you know, and I was raised in the worst neighborhoods. I walked around the worst neighborhoods. You know what I mean? And your life is going. You don't know when your life's going to end. You know, and it might not even be from a motherfucking person. You might get hit by a car or a bus. You might get hit by lightning. But you're worried about not enjoying yourself while you still have a chance to. You know, your child is having fun. Your child going out partying and doing. But they look at their mom. What you? No, I'm gonna go outside. I'm scared. I'm scared of the people that are out there. Why? I don't know. I don't know. The pandemic made me scared of everybody. Pandemic ain't do shit to you. But that is our mind, you know. Our minds fuck with us, you know. We don't know what to do with ourselves, man. We don't. We don't have no type of energy anymore, man. You know what I mean? I see these scooters and you know, I mean, the things that we do nowadays that we never did in the past. We will never do any of this shit. And people thinking that I believe this generation, this decade is the most laziest decade of all time. It is. I believe this decade is the most laziest decade of all time. Because what fun do we have nowadays, man? Without sitting there like begging, you know, not begging, but just looking at how everything just changed us from the pandemic until now. 5 years ago, the pandemic happened. And 5 years today, the country is like lazy as shit because they took everything from us and they forced us to be this way, knowing that I knew this was going to happen during the pandemic, that everything was going to close and everything's going to be taken away from us, and we won't be able to have fun anymore, be able to go out to clubs and bars. Because there's still clubs, but no, they're not. No, they're not. Stop that. Stop that saying there's clubs and bars. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not. They're not what they used to be. They're expensive. Drinks are expensive. Food is expensive. There's no fun anymore of going to these clubs because women don't want to deal with men that don't have money. It used to be women, you go to a club, you meet a woman, you enjoy that woman, then she enjoys you. Y'all meet up again, y'all meet up again. If you don't, y'all don't. Nowadays, it's all about money. It's not about fun. You can't even go out to eat. You can't even hang out with your friends no more because nobody wants to sit out in the front because everybody's scared about getting shot. Can't go to the movies because people don't want to even go to the movies anymore. Everybody want to go to the movies by themselves. People don't want to go with movies to people anymore. Like, people don't want to enjoy company anymore. Enjoy just having fun. Like, every weekend, my friends wanted to go and do fucking shit. Every weekend. We couldn't wait till Friday to come. We couldn't wait. We talked about what's going to happen that weekend, and the weekend wasn't even over yet. What we doing next weekend? I don't know. Yo, we want to go to the club? Yeah. We want to go to the hotel? Yeah. We want to go to the beach? Yeah. We'll get some biddies? Yeah. That's all we talked about. Weekend come, we handle our weekend, we worried about the next weekend. Because even though people had to work, go to school, whatever, we always talk to each other on the phone. What's going on? What we doing Friday? I don't know. Where we meeting up on Saturday? I don't know. We're going to be at the club? Yeah. How much it costs to get in? It's free until 11. We got to still pay for drinks. All right, bet. Let's go. We be sitting outside all night long on a Saturday into Sunday talking about bullshit all night long. We be on the phone with the biddy until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, falling asleep on the phone with each other. That's what we used to do. We don't do that shit no more. That doesn't even exist. We used to do so much shit that was so much fun. Party lines, clubs, hotels. Remember people talk about the R. Kelly shit about the hotels? That really cut people off from going to hotels. What R. Kelly did to that girl in the hotel. That really stopped people from having hotel parties. Then we used to have house parties, which they don't have no more. And even if they do have them, you don't hear about them. Even though you had to pay, so what? It was fun. Free drinks. Free food. You only had to pay I think $10 or $5. But what happened to that? That don't even exist no more. Well, what happened to hanging out all night long with your homies and friends just by this bullshit? Talking. Reminiscing. Nothing. That don't happen no more. Lazy. We lost friends. People dying. Everything is just taken away from us. But we just accept it. Because we don't know how to just, we could bring all this shit back if we really want to. But we don't want to. It is crazy. It's sad. It's horrible. I really be thinking a lot about that too. About just accepting, just dying the way I thought that I'll be at a party. You know what I mean? I don't even smoke. I don't drink. You know what I mean? But the things that we did in the past that made us who we were and that we're not, even the younger generation don't even believe the shit that we had done in our past. Because why would they believe us when we're fucking sitting around doing the same thing that they're doing? Playing video games and being on our cell phones all day. They were like, damn, my mom did that back in the day. She was a player. My dad did that back in the day. He was a pimp. He used to party, have all the biddies. They don't even believe a goddamn thing you say out your mouth. Because number one, you can't prove it unless you got some photos. Remember, they had videos like that back then. So, unless you can prove it, kids don't even believe their own parents that actually did things in their past because they're seeing what they're doing and sitting home all day and not going nowhere. Mom, Dad, you going out? No. I'm going to sit here and watch Netflix. Okay? You gotta... Okay, how old are you again? Aren't you well, Yeah, I took care of you for eight. We used the excuse we took care of them for 18 years. Yeah, we were doing other things when we were young too. Forgot all about that shit. But now we're sitting up here just looking at our kids play video games, and now we want to play against them. Man, I could beat you in that game. Let me come over here and whip your ass, son. Dad, I'm online. So what? I'm gonna get online too. You see my freaking thing on channel? It's called Hot Dad number 92. That's me. Oh my God, Dad, get away from me. Our kids are trying to kick us out the room. You know, because we want to be just like our kids. We want to follow behind our kids. We think our kids is going to be so awesome so they can play video games. So we're going to do the same exact thing that they do. Knowing that we should not be doing the same thing, exact things that our kids do, because our moms and dads didn't do nothing of the fucking things that we had done. So we're copycatting our kids and our grandkids and our nieces and nephews. We're duplicating them because we can't get away from them. Because we think they're going to catch on fire or something like that and disappear. So we have to make sure we have to be up under their asses. So what we do, we just do the same thing that they do. We just go and copy and paste the same thing that they do. That's why I miss the 90s. I miss the 80s. I miss all that shit. That's why I watch old videos of breakdancing and old toy stores and old everything that's old that made me almost tear up because we don't have that no more. And they took that away from us for punishment because we had fun. And they didn't like that we enjoyed ourselves. And we talk about it continuously about our past. They don't want us to talk about our past. They want us to talk about the future, which we don't even know what the fucking future has for us. Because we don't know nothing was going to happen 5 minutes or 5 seconds or an hour from now. But they want us to worry about the future here and now. Why worry about the here and now? What's so great about here and now? Oh, because we're alive a few seconds? But what about our past that we enjoyed, which was our best time of our lives, is our past. But we're going to try to let that go because we want to say, well, we got to worry about the future. Our future's not looking great right now, so I don't know why we're so much worried about it too much. Because I don't think we're going to have a future pretty soon. The way things are going on with everything that's going on in this planet. So I really believe that I should be able to reminisce about my past and enjoy what I used to do because I can't do it anymore because they took that away from us. Oh shit. Damn, I created a happy smile. Like I said, I'm off this thing. About to eat a nice delicious hamburger. Ugh, smells. All right, everybody. God bless to everybody. Sorry, change that. Bless to everybody.